So hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Ames's Corner. How are you all doing out there? So it's a beautiful spring day. Boy, I love when the lilacs bloom. I take my vacation every year right on this week, the week of the 11th. Whatever day or whatever week the 11th in, that's when I go on vacation. Last year, we got the 96 here running, and we did that through the whole vacation. That was kind of the theme of it. And in the end, I ended up with a car that runs and drives, and you know, take it down the street right now. You guys have seen it up to the shop and all that. So anyways, I figure being on vacation, I got a little free time. I figure me and the old lady here are packed up in the rally wagon, and we're going to take a ride to all the lost and abandoned Saabs and that old dealership, just to see how everything's held up for the last winter, if anything's changed out there. So we got a lot of ground to cover today. I think I'm going to actually pick a couple of these lilacs and hang them from the mirror, because it smells like vacation to me. So let's go see how some of these cars have held up, all right? Well, all right, guys. I got a hot tip on the Facebook group about a Sonett in Wilmington on a truck transport trailer. We just went to take a look to see if we can find it, and unfortunately, it's inside of a lot now that I can't get to. But a couple pictures of a really cool-looking, rare color with some rare lower trim sticker Sonett. So why don't you guys take a quick look at the pictures I was able to get. Yeah, unfortunately, you can see it in that last picture way inside there, but you know, they're not going to let me in to film inside their operation to look at some customer's car on a trailer, or the customer of a customer's car on a trailer. So if any of you guys out there know that car or know where it's going, or maybe you're buying it, my guess is it's was bought up here in New England, where a lot of these Saabs are, and is being shipped down south. But would have liked to have gotten a better look at it. But anyways, let's get on to Carlisle and see how those three old Saabs in the woods are doing. Well, all right, guys, here we are at Foss Farm in Carlisle, Mass. And this is where three old classic Saabs are. Well, I don't know if they're necessarily abandoned or not, but they're as far that way in the land as we can get. So one thing I wanted to do today is I wanted to get an overhead shot. So why don't we get the drone in the air and just take a general look of the old area here. It's actually a really beautiful area if you just want to go hiking. I recommend coming out here. But yeah, let's get an overhead shot of this, and then we'll take a walk in and see if we can find them. Well, I know we'll find them. Let's see how these things have held up over the winter. Awesome. Remind me a lot of the woods in Byfield where I grew up. Same kind of trees, same kind of plants, same kind of terrain. But yeah, it brings back a lot of memories of when I was a kid. This probably would have been a place that we would have driven dirt bikes around in, but that stuff's not allowed anymore. But yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna take a walk down. Looks like those cars are still right where we last saw them. Right there. Boy, I'd love to know more about these cars out here at Foss Farm. This might actually be someone's private property, but I don't see any no trespassing signs right in this area. At least not in the way we came in. Maybe they're somewhere else. I apologize if I'm someplace I shouldn't be, but when you have eye candy that attracts the flies, you're gonna have flies come look at your eye candy. You just call me the fly on the wall. But looks like they're right where we left them. Not like they're gonna move anytime soon. Right here. It looks like this is a long driveway. There's definitely a house right there, so I'm not really gonna linger long. I don't think this is really an abandoned thing. I think whoever owns these cars sees them every time they drive down their driveway. And I can't blame them. I can't blame them. I want to thank whoever posted on the Facebook group about these ones. It's nice to at least keep a tab on what's around here. Honestly, I think there are more old Saabs here in New England than anywhere else in the world. And it just kind of goes to show that people that own these cars must have really, really loved them to know to hold on to them for a while. Well, alright guys, if you want to see more about these cars, check out the video that I made of them. I'll put a link down in the description if I remember. For now, we gotta go. We got a long way to go. We're here in Carlisle, Mass. Next stop is the abandoned dealership in Ware, New Hampshire. And we got a few miles to put on the rally wagon to get there and do that. So, you know, at least they're not in a crusher. At least they're not getting made into soup cans and cheap Chinese products. Alright guys. Here in Ware, New Hampshire, a heck of a trip from Carlisle to Ware, about 75 miles one way. Did it pretty quick. Had a little rendezvous with another Saabs on the Saabs in New England. Played a little bit in traffic and got a "you on here bro" post. But anyways, yeah, here we are at the abandoned dealership. Like it did last time we were up here. Oh, and that little Honda bike's gone. Still got the Firebirds up front. Still got the Mustangs up here in the showroom. Mustang, and looks like a Lincoln back there. Yeah, a lot of interest in this place. Since the first time I've been here, they've definitely done a little cleanup back here. Still got that Thunderbird rotting away. That shitty old Cadillac still sitting here. They definitely did clean up that whole dilapidated part of it. There's the Get a Grip Continental. That's a cool one. Fire truck's still there. I heard they're only asking about $4,000 for that fire truck. Screaming deal if you want an old Seagrave. But it's good to see that they've actually done some work here and cleaned the place up. I mean, it was a screaming eyesore just falling down on everything. Looked like some new construction. I'd have to say, what do you think that would be? What is that? A vat, a tank for maple syrup maybe? I don't know. I wonder what that old motor, it's like an old Buick engine or something. I don't know. Seagrave sitting there. You can see where the floor is caving in. This whole area is actually a bridge. There's water actually running through and underneath this whole structure here, running underneath the road and right out that way. But hold on, we gotta see. We're not going in or nothing, but there's that crown, an Imperial crown. What a survivor that is, huh? Untouched for how many years? Wow. Here's that Cadillac Fleetwood. These horrible cars these were. Get up and see what we can see. Is that another Firebird, right? Thunderbird rather, right there. Yeah, another Thunderbird. So all the money cars are all right where they've been. Nothing's really come in or out of here, other than they've done a little bit of cleanup and a little bit of work here. People ask what this is. Looks like this newer car here is a Continental been shoved in there. We can see the cool Ford pickup in the back. Look at that, huh? All this cool stuff just sitting here. It was all for sale. I heard it was not for sale, then I heard it was for sale, but you know, everything's here or there with this place. Everything's here or there. I think it got cleaned up because of the attention my first video gave of this place. That's good or bad. It's got to be good for somebody, but I'm sure the neighbors, I'm sure the guy that owns that house right there appreciates the place being cleaned up. Well, anyways, guys, I'm going to get a couple of overhead shots of this place, and then we're going to get moving on to the Lost Sonett. And we got a lot of ground to cover. We've covered a lot of ground and a lot more to cover. Awesome. Well, all right, guys, we have arrived. Now, the Lost Sonett here, some people have been saying it's been in a flood. We're pretty high up on a mountainside, or, you know, maybe not a mountainside, but a hillside. I actually took a little drone footage about a quarter mile that way. Really beautiful place. I got the drone up to take a look at this whole hill. But we're on the north side, which in that drone footage is going to be the right side of the screen. And yeah, this thing's pretty far up. I see something very interesting right there. The land it's on is for sale. And I have an actual phone number to call. Guys. That's some interesting stuff right there, but yeah, here it is, the Lost Sonett in all its glory. Not much left of it, but yeah, the buried Lost Sonett. Again we meet. You know, been here since last played on its 2 of 89. But yeah, here she is. Not much left of it nowadays, but it does have 4 soccer ball wheels that I would love to get my hands on. You know, if nothing else out of this car, I'd love to take the wheels off of it. Some of you guys are asking where the spare tire, or there was a spare rim out here. I've hidden that just so it didn't disappear and get scrapped. You know, I understand maybe it's not respecting this poor old car by moving its parts and pieces around, but I want to make sure that thing stays with it. Oh, we got it open this time. No one's taking the AMZ decal or the Svenska Aeroplan print. Those are still in there doing good. This is actually, this is the last one of these stickers that exists. I kind of want to take it home to use it, but I'm going to leave it out here in case anybody else wants a little prize for finding the Lost Sonett. Yeah, 37,000 miles on it when it met its last mile up here on this mountain. I'm going to say, my best guess for this is it was buried. Cars don't end up like this, just sitting in New England. You know, stuff will grow up around them, but it won't bury it quite like this to this point. You know, this car didn't sink into mud here. I'm pretty sure this car was buried. And it looks like I might have a phone number to get a little more of the story. It's actually a weekday. I'm not going to bother calling that number at this very moment, but we are definitely going to call that phone number. There's that Taunus V4. Been open to the elements for, way too long. You know, there's not going to be much salvageable on this motor at all. Maybe a few little odds and ends here and there, you know. Stuff like that cap, that reservoir right there. But yeah, Lost Sonett, guys. Well, anyways, we had a lot of driving to do. We had a lot of driving we already took care of today. We got a lot of driving to get back home. I'm kind of a little long in the tooth for driving, and yeah, we're gonna get out of here in a little bit. There's not much more I can do here, but you know, maybe wipe some of this bird shit off, but I doubt I'm gonna. Well, alright guys, anyways, it was a pretty fun adventure today. Covered a lot of ground, saw a lot of the old stuff. A lot of it's right where we left it, you know. I mean, who else is going to come here and bother with such an old derelict relic of a car? Well, anyways, guys, I've had about enough for today. Time to get home and slam this episode together for you guys. And on that note, and until next time, keep it out of the cabbage.